Hi, I'm Paul Spencer and I'm running for Congress against Representative French Hill. You're likely watching this video on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, but very soon your ability to watch this or anything online could soon be disrupted by the government, the corporate donors, and the special interests. The Federal Communications Commission, the agency designed to protect the way that we communicate, could soon repeal the net neutrality protections that currently provide for a free and open internet. These protections, which were adopted by the Obama administration in 2015, currently prevent internet service providers, or ISPs, from selectively speeding up or slowing down access to certain websites or services. Without these protections, individuals like you and I could suddenly find ourselves being charged exorbitant fees for services that have always been free or affordable, such as Facebook, Twitter, Netflix, or YouTube. The internet is founded on principles like net neutrality. A child in Allred should be able to access the same information at the same speed and for the same price as a child in Little Rock. Any candidate or elected official should not only commit himself or herself to that idea, but they should also be held accountable for when he or she neglects that fact. Before the FCC adopted these protections in 2015, some ISPs such as AT&T, Comcast, and Verizon had begun to pry at the edges of this tradition of a free and open internet. In 2010, Windstream Communications, an Arkansas-based DSL provider with more than 1 million customers at the time, admitted to hijacking data that you and I put into search engines like Google. In 2012, the FCC caught Verizon Wireless blocking people from using tethering applications on their phones, which allow individuals to access the internet via their cell phones. These are just some of the many examples of how the companies you use to access the internet would raise their prices without a second thought. Their sole motivation is profit-driven, and their core principle is monopolistic. I understand these transgressions might seem like a regular course of business, and they often do go overlooked, but this practice should not be condoned by our government. The repeal of these protections would destroy any possibility for free and open internet where small startups can compete with corporate giants like Google and Facebook. Such a move would once again reveal that, despite some of President Trump's rhetoric on the campaign trail, this administration is completely committed to the interests of corporate monopolies and not what's best for the people who rely on internet every day to work, to learn, and to make it through their daily lives. I believe the internet is a public utility, and it should be regulated as such. Republicans who claim to support opportunity on the free market should be appalled at how the repeal of these protections could favor established corporations over small businesses. But, as we've seen time and time again, many GOP lawmakers simply decry any government oversight as excessive regulation and move on. If net neutrality goes away, ISPs will further divide our communities into winners and losers of the digital age. Having a captive customer base hurts the internet users in rural areas, especially in our state. The ISPs that rural customers already use are de facto monopolies, and by repealing net neutrality protections, these internet providers will have little reason to upgrade services in such a non-competitive environment. Arkansans need committed individuals in office that understand how vital an open internet is to everyday life. We are the 48th least connected state, and if we look at more numbers, we see how troubling this really is for our 2nd District families. Only 52% of Arkansans have access to fixed wireless service. Moreover, our poorest communities in the 2nd District are the communities most affected. While over 80% of Conway and Faulkner County have access to high-speed internet, just 41% of Conway County shares that right. While 96% of Little Rock and Pulaski County have access to high-speed internet, only 7% of Van Buren County can get online. 661,000 people in Arkansas have access to only one wired provider, leaving them with no options to switch. Yet our congressmen have done little to ensure this monopoly of services is regulated properly. Another 230,000 people in Arkansas don't have any wired internet providers available where they live. By not working to rectify this wrong, our congressmen abandoned families in our state, leaving them closed off from the digital age. And they barred children from the same services afforded to children in wealthier areas. I want to implore you not to believe the canned GOP line that repealing net neutrality protections will increase competition. Expert after expert has shown the statement to be a lobbyist lie, and that we should let the representatives know that we're not fooled by their corporate spin. Removing net neutrality also hurts your online privacy. Among the protections in the FCC's 2015 Open Internet Order are protections that keep ISPs from using personal data without permission. This restricts their ability to inspect your data about which sites you visit, which videos you watch, and which emails you read. Without these protections, these corporations have no reason not to use their access to increase their own bottom line. ISPs will go from being conduits of information to gatekeepers deciding what information they want you to have access to. On December 14th, the FCC chairman Ajit Pai, a former lawyer and lobbyist for Verizon, and the FCC board are likely going to repeal net neutrality on a party line vote. It will then be up to our congressional representatives to act by changing the law to restore the free and open internet that every citizen deserves.